In this video, we're going to be using the Gillette Baldly set. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Before we get into the content today, a word from our sponsor, Leaf. This video is brought to you by our good friends at Leaf, and you know I love Leaf products. I love using the Leaf, which you've seen me use many times on the channel. I also love using the Twig. You've seen that a lot on the channel as well. If you'd like to save 5%, use discount code IAMCDB right there and save 5% while shopping with the good folks at Leaf. And now, back to the video. And all right, let's get into it. So today, again, we're going to be using the Gillette Baldly razor. Last time I called it Baldy. It would probably be a better name if it was Baldy. This is called Baldly. And we have our shave cream primer, which I did like. It was pretty good. And our Baldly razor. And you can buy this in a kit. And the kit comes with the razor. It comes with a shower hanger. It comes with a stand. And the razor hangs on it. Actually, like so. Not a bad little stand, actually. It's not bad. I wish you could just buy the razor by itself. Now, something that a lot of people mention, and they appear to be correct, is the Baldly is basically appears to be using Skinguard blades. So there's the Skinguard. This is the Baldly. And the main difference is just the handle. So the Skinguard, it sort of pivots that way. The Baldly, it goes back and forth, side to side. And it sort of has more rotation and, you know, more ability to pivot and so on and so forth. But otherwise, it looks like the actual blade is just a Skinguard. So more or less a rebranded Skinguard with a handle that I do like the handle, even though it's a little chunky. It feels good in the hand, and I enjoyed using it the last time. So we'll try it again today. And normally, you know, we would use a traditional shaving soap, but today again, we're going to use the Baldly cream primer, they call it. The set there, by the way, costs 35 bucks is what it retails for. And we're going to shave the dome today. Hope you can see a little of the white there. And we'll get into it and try it again today and just see how this shaves. Again, it does look like essentially a rebranded Skinguard. So if you like the Skinguard, the way it shaves, you may like it. Some people do not. So, you know, I don't know what Gillette says about this blade. I don't know if they acknowledge that it's basically a Skinguard blade, but it sure looks like it. So we're just going to assume it's basically Skinguard blades, and they've made it for head shaving. I don't know if they've done a ton of innovation apart from the handle on this one, is what I'm getting at. Okay, let me rinse the hand off here. So the shave primer, as they call it, cream, it's really hard to describe this. It's got a sort of a, now the last time I mentioned this, I said mint, and someone said, what kind of mint? Spearmint, peppermint? Just mint. Just mint. That's all I can say. I don't know what sort of mint. Just go with mint. It's got a minty sort of scent to it, but it's fresh and clean at the same time. It's a nice scent. I actually don't mind it. So I'm going to put a little more hydration on the dome there, and we'll get started today with the Baldly. Baldly. There's an L in there. Last time I called it Baldy. It would be a better name, again, if they called it Baldy. But anyway, let's get after it. Because we do need a head shave, and the razor shaved fine the first time. You know, it wasn't bad at all. I thought the shave cream they have here actually worked just fine. It's a brushless type shave cream. I didn't have any problems with it. I kind of like the handle on this razor, despite it being chunky. Feels good in the hand. It's plenty grippy enough. And I know some people don't like Gillette because of their politics, but I try to steer clear of, you know, politics when it comes to these products. I'm just sort of evaluating the product on the basis of the product itself, and, you know, I know very little about a lot of the companies in terms of their politics, and honestly, I don't want to know what their politics is because I don't care. I'm only interested in what they're producing from the perspective of, you know, shaving, and so if you care about those things and their political leanings, that's fine. But I am just concerned with the shaving product here. And as a shaving product, it works fine. It's not my favorite by any stretch. My favorite, of course, and the razor that I use the most, not necessarily on video, because keep in mind, I only do a couple of head shaves on video a week, and sometimes not even that. So most of the time I use the Leaf. on my head, and that's what I prefer. But I do try these different cartridge razors and new ones just to see, you know, how they work. And this one works just fine. If you like a Skinguard, you know, you probably like it. I do like that the blade is spaced out like the Skinguard, so it's not going to clog as much as perhaps some of your other cartridge razors that have those blades very close together. So that's a good thing. And even though, again, the handle is chunky, I like it. It works well for me. Make sure you pull down those ears. We don't want to nick the ears, and we certainly have over the years a few times. This razor, I think it shaves pretty well overall. But, you know, I don't think it's revolutionary in any way. Other than the fact that Gillette is advertising it as a head shaving razor for head shavers. I don't think there's much in the way of innovation here. You know, the handle is different. I like the stand. It's nice, but like I said, if I could have bought this razor without all the other stuff, I would have. The cream here, it's good. It's nice and slick. I don't know if it lathers like with a brush. At some point, we will try that. But for now, I just wanted to sort of try it the way probably people will be trying it, which is as a brushless sort of cream, and it's plenty slick enough. It smells good. It's pleasant. So I would say my experience with the Baldly, not Baldy, but Baldly, it's been pretty good so far. Really nothing to complain about apart from the fact that it really just looks like a jazzed up handle with the Skinguard blade. So, you know, a lot of people mentioned that in the first video, and thank you. I thought the same, but I thought, you know, I'd use it first and then come back and use it again and mention all that kind of stuff. So again, the cream here I think is pretty good. This is about the cream, what is it? $6 for the cream. The refills for this razor are $15. That's kind of expensive because you can get sometimes 200 double-edged blades for $15. So that's a lot of the issue with cart blades, or they are quite expensive relative to double-edged razor blades. That's why a lot of us came into traditional shaving to use double-edged razor blades, because they were very inexpensive relative to carts. Now there are subscription services available for cartridge refills, and it has brought that price down some, but still compared to double-edged razor blades, which sometimes you can find 100 as low as $5.99, $6.99, the cart refills are quite a bit more expensive. So how many shaves can you get from 200 blades versus 4? You know, so one of these cart blades like this on average for me would last about a week. I would get typically maybe 5, 6 shaves out of one of these blades, and then I'd have to chuck it. So that's something to consider. And let's come around here and just do a quick pass going the other way. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's so good to have you. If you're a head shaver and maybe you've never considered traditional shaving, you have found the right place. We have a lot of stuff for you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and learning about traditional shaving. But on this channel, we don't poo-poo carts or insult them. They have a place. A lot of people use them, and I think a lot of us in the traditional shaving community need to realize that carts still have their place. They have a large footprint. The amount of people using carts as compared to traditional shaving razors and blades, it is an orders of magnitude larger population. And so we need to understand that a lot of people really love carts and they use them very effectively. They are, you know, very easy to use, and that's part of the allure. Let's go over here and get some of this. The one thing about this cream is I do need to just, it's quite slick, even though you don't see much on there. Still slick, but you do need to keep it hydrated. If you keep it hydrated, it'll be slick. So even though you don't see much there, it's plenty slick enough. So let's come over here and do some work around that ear. But anyway, there are lots of cart shavers out there, and we want to be respectful of those people, and we want them to be aware there's another way. So we're using these products to try them out, and also hopefully someone will come along looking for the Baldly, and they'll say, what is this guy talking about traditional shaving? And maybe they'll they'll find the promised land, as it were. At least that's what I always hope for. We're always looking to broaden our tent and pull more people into the fold. And I also like trying these razors. I just like using them to see, you know, how are they? How do they shave? And they shave fine. But I will say the Skinguard is not my favorite blade type for a cart. It does work fine, but I find I get closer easier with like a razor like the Defender or Harry's, or even a Gillette Fusion or Schick Pro Glide, or not Schick Pro Glide, but Schick Extreme 3 or something like that. I can get closer. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Skinguard blade type. It does work, but I find myself having to, you know, go over the same areas more than using some of the other blade types. But it does get the job done. It will work. But I find I'm probably making more strokes with the Skinguard blade than I would with some of the other cart type blades. Although it's very easy to use, and there's only 2 blades there, and that's good. Nothing wrong with that. And now we're just doing some touching up and making sure we got everything nice and tight. We don't want to leave any errant hairs around there. That's the thing with this razor, is I find myself touching up a little more. So just the Skinguard blades for me, they wouldn't be my #1 choice. I would, if you're going to use Gillette, I would definitely use one of the other blades. Just, I think they're a little more efficient than the Skinguard is. However, the Skinguard is designed, you know, for those who have trouble with some of the other blade types, and the blades are spread out so it doesn't clog as easily. And it's meant to be an easygoing shaver, and it is. But the drawback is that it requires, for me, a lot more touching up. So I'll feel a little patch where I've missed, and I have to touch up, whereas I tend not to have as much of that. I always have to do some touch up, but I find I do a little more with this particular blade. But overall, the Gillette Baldly, pretty good razor, but it's just essentially a Skinguard. Now, if you happen to be from Gillette and these blades are in fact different, please let me know, but they look exactly the same as Skinguard. So if you have Skinguard blades and you've tried them, you've tried the blades. The handle is different. I do like the handle, despite it being chunky. I think it's a good form factor for head shaving. I think they've done a good job with that part. We give credit where credit is due on that. And there we have it. I think we have done a pretty good job today. So I will rinse and do the post off cam. But what I'll say about the Gillette Baldly, the cream, quite good for a brushless cream. And I will try to lather it at some point just to see if it lathers. But good. Smells pleasant. Plenty slick enough. Easy to use. No problem. About $6. Not bad. The razor, not revolutionary. It's just got a fat handle on it. It is essentially, as far as I can tell, the Skinguard with a different handle on it. It does rotate from side to side. You know, it's got more pivoting and so on and so forth. It is shorter. Between these 2 razors for head shaving, which do I prefer? I do prefer the Baldly or Baldly. That's difficult. I prefer the Baldly. I do like the handle. I do find it more grippy and a little more ergonomic for head shaving than the Skinguard. But essentially, it's not a revolutionary thing. You buy the kit, you get a stand, that's nice and all, but for $35, you can probably do better, honestly. If you're in love with the Skinguard blades, this might be a good buy for you. So I would say that. But it is a nice razor. It gets the job done, but certainly not revolutionary. And to me, it doesn't bring anything new to head shaving. I think when you look at their website, you're thinking, ooh, this is something new for head shaving. It's not really new. It's just kind of the same old thing with a new handle. And that's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. We always call it like we see it. But overall, it's a good shaver. So you might find that you like it if you like Skinguard blades. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do your way. And as always, God bless.